Daf Yomi. Tractate. Bava, page 126b. Top of the page with the words Mar Sofer, Lo Asaklum Bipalga, Mar Sofer Bechulu. Rav Papi and Rav Papa disagree with regard to Rava's intention. One sage, Rav Papi, holds that he has done nothing with regard to his brother's portion, as he had no right to sell it. With regard to his own additional portion, the sale was valid, as it was in his possession, even before the division of the property. And one sage, Rav Papa, holds that he has done nothing with regard to all of the property, as he does not possess the additional portion before the property is divided between the brothers. Shalachu mitam bechor shemachar kodem chaluka lo asaklum alma ein lo lebechor kodem chaluka v'hilchasa yesh lebechor kodem chaluka. The Gemara notes that they sent a ruling from there, Eretz Yisrael, a firstborn who sold his additional portion before the division of the property has done nothing. Apparently, the sages of Eretz Yisrael hold that a firstborn does not have a right to his additional portion before the division. But the halacha is that a firstborn has a right to his additional portion before the division. Marzutra mid rishba plag bitsana depil palei V'hadi achin bishav aser likami drav ashi amar le hoil v'yitarta b'miktas v'yitarta b'chol nechasim kulam. The Gemara relates Marzutra of the house of Rishba, who was a firstborn, divided a basket of peppers from the estate of his father with his brothers equally. He came before Rashi to claim a double portion of the rest of the estate. Rashi said to him, "Since you relinquished your additional portion with regard to some of the estate, you have relinquished your additional portion with regard to all of the property. As a firstborn has a right to his additional portion before the division." And that's the end of that. Starting a new Mishnah. Mishnah says, "Ha'omer ish ploni b'ni b'chor lo yitel pishnayim. Ish ploni b'ni lo yirash im echav. Lomar klum. Shehisna alma shekasuv b'torah." In a case of one who says, "So-and-so, my firstborn son, will not take a double portion of my estate," or one who says, "So-and-so, my son, will not inherit my estate among his brothers," he has said nothing, as he has stipulated counter to that which is written in the Torah. Hamechalek nechasav al piv, riba leechad umiyot leechad, v'hishva lahen es habechor v'vorav kayomin. V'imor mamar mishum Yerusha lo amar klum kasav bein batechila bein be'emtza bein basov mishum matana divar of kayamin. With regard to one on his deathbed who apportions his property orally, granting it to his sons as a gift, and he increased the portion given to one of his sons, and reduced the portion given to one son, or equated the portion of the firstborn to the portion of the other sons, his statement stands. But if he said that they will receive the property not as a gift, but as an inheritance, he has said nothing. If he wrote it is will, whether at the beginning or in the middle or at the end, that he is granting them the property as a gift, his statement stands. That's the Mishnah. The Gemara says, "Lema masnisen de lo Rav Yehuda, di Rav Yehuda hamavada v'shalmamin tenoi kayim." The Gemara suggests, Let us say that the Mishnah is not in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda. As if it is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda, doesn't he say elsewhere that if one stipulates counter to that which is written in the Torah with regard to monetary matters, his stipulation stands? Titania, since we learned the Brisa, Homer li shahrei mekadesh yisrael menas she'en lach alai she'er ksus vanasa harezu mekadeshes v'tano batal to Rabbi Meir. Yehuda Omer b'devar shemamen t'nokayim. It is taught in Brita, in Tosefta Kedushin 3:7, if one says to a woman, "You are hereby betrothed to me on the condition that you have no ability to claim from me food, clothing, and conjugal rights," she is betrothed, and his stipulation is void. This is the statement from a mayor. Yehuda says, with regard to monetary matters such as food and clothing, his stipulation stands despite being counter to that which is written in the Torah. According to the opinion of Yehuda, one should be able to stipulate that his firstborn son not receive a double portion, or that one of his sons not inherit from him at all, as inheritance is a monetary matter. I feel the Rabbi Yehuda hasam yada v'lo v'kamachala hahalo kamachil. The Gemara rejects the suggestion. Even if you say the Allah is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda, there the woman knew of his stipulation and waived her rights. Therefore, the stipulation stands. Here, the son whose portion was reduced did not waive his portion. Therefore, the stipulation is not valid. Okay, Amar Rav Yosef, Amar Ploni b'ni bechorihu notul b'shnayim, ish Ploni bechorihu, ein notul b'shnayim, dilma bechor and de'ima kamar. Rav Yosef says that if a man says, "So and so is my firstborn son," the son takes a double portion of his inheritance based on his testimony. This testimony. If he says so and so is a firstborn, the son does not take a double portion. Perhaps the man was saying that the son is his mother's firstborn, but not his own firstborn. Hahud asl kamei de Rabbi Bar Chana, Amar le muksukani bazeh, shu bechor, Amar le mina yedana, tahavi kri le avu, buchra sakla, duma buchra de'imo, dechol buchra de'ima nami buchra sakla karule. The Gemara relates that there was a certain man who came before Rabbi Bar Chana and said to him, "I know that this man is a firstborn." Rabbi Bar Chana said to him, "From where do I know?" He answered, "Because his father would call him a foolish firstborn." Rabbi Bar Chana replied, "Perhaps he is his mother's firstborn, as any firstborn of a mother is also called a foolish firstborn." Hahu also the comment to Rabbi Chanina, Amar le'much zakani bazeh shu b'chol. Amar le minayadat. How do you know? How do you know he's a bechor? Amar le dechi havo asu legabe avu. Amar lehu zilu legabe shichachas pri de bechor hamasi ruke. The Gemara relates there was a certain man who came before Chanina, said to him, "I know that this man is a firstborn." Chanina said to him, "From where do you know?" He says, "Chanina, because when people would come before his father to obtain a cure for their ailing eyes, he would say to them, 'Go to my son Shikat, as he is a firstborn and his saliva heals the ailment.'" Okay. Vizom bechor de'imahu gemiri bechor de'aba masvi ruke bechor de'ima lo masvi ruke. The Gemara asks, but perhaps he is his mother's firstborn. The Gemara answers, it is learned as a tradition that the saliva of a father's firstborn heals the ailment, but the saliva of a mother's firstborn does not heal this ailment. Amar Rav Ami, tum shenikra v'nim sezachar eina notul b'shnayim d'amar kram. V'haya ben b'chor l'sniya ad she'itein bein mishas havaya. Rabbi Ami said, in the case of one whose sexual organs are indeterminate, a tumtum, and whose skin became perforated so that his genitals were exposed, and he was found to be male, he does not take a double portion of his father's inheritance. As the verse states, and if the firstborn son was hers, that was hated, Deuteronomy 21:15, which is interpreted to mean that he is not considered firstborn unless he is recognized as a son, meaning a male, from the moment of his coming into being, meaning his birth. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak Amar, Af Eino Nidon Keben Sorer Umoreh, Amar Kra Ki Yeh Leish Ben Sorer Umoreh, Ad Shehei Ben Mishas Havaya. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak says a tumtum who is found to be male is also not judged as a stubborn and rebellious son. As the verse states, if there will be to a man a stubborn and rebellious son, Deuteronomy 21:18, which is interpreted to mean that one is not judged in this manner unless he is recognized as a son from the moment of his coming into being. Okay?